This portion of the news is brought to you by Sun Oil Limited, fueling growth for people.
Despite that holiday reconnection drive that will allow the average consumer to pay 20% down on their monthly power bills before January 31st, Bahamas Electricity Corporation Chairman Leslie Miller confirmed that $127 million is still owed to the company. In fact, he admits a big chunk of that money is owed by commercial consumers that the company plans to target this year.
The small Bahamian mother and father living in over the hill areas, bills, most of them don't exceed $2,000 max. It is the big customers that carries the load for BEC. And those commercial customers are customers that we'll be going after in 2014 to bring them up to date. One in particular who owes us in excess of $12 million. We have to deal with them.
Hours after Valley Boys leader, the late Winston Gus Cooper, passed away Saturday, his beloved followers and supporters held a massive rush out at the group's Claridge Road shack in his honor. Junkanoo music filled the air as Junkanoo group participants remembered their leader for his favorite pastime. It was truly a moment in the group's history. And the tributes continued to pour in for the Junkanoo icon. LaDon Davis spoke with two Junkanoo veterans about their rivalry with the group's leader on Bay Street and a friendship that spans over 5 decades.
They've been rivals in the Junkanoo world for many years, and every boxing on New Year's Day morning, the crowd can expect the Valley Boys and the Shell Saxon Superstars to not only bring fierce competition, but a whole lot of splendor, energy, perfection, execution, and excitement to Bay Street. But what you may not know is that rivalry only lasts for a few hours. Leader of the Shell Saxon Superstars, Percy Villa-Francis, admits his friendship with the late Winston Gus Cooper transcends beyond 2 laps on Bay Street.
Yeah, we traveled together all over the world to many carnivals, and of course he was an inspiration to me. I actually admired him as a boy. I lived in the Valley for a while with my uncle Carlton E. Francis. He was in the heart of the Valley, and the Valley Shack was just across the street from us in the Birdland. And so I had the opportunity to go over there sometimes and see what they were doing. This was even long before Saxons. And I even pasted a couple contracts for Valley Boys during that period when they had the Gamblers and they had the Musketeers. And
one family member, Arlene Nash Ferguson, knows all too well how it feels to lose a key Junkanoo pillar. In fact, 2 years ago, the group lost cultural icon and architect, the late Jackson Burnside. Ferguson is certain the Valley Boys will bounce back, and now is the time to document Gus's Junkanoo journey.
The case of Gus Cooper from 1958 to now, his impact has been phenomenal in terms of the development of Junkanoo. I want my grandchildren to know that. I want my grandchildren to know that I went to the same high school as him, that he was my hero when I came into St. John's College as a little girl. He was a senior student, and I already knew that he had started his own Junkanoo group.
Meanwhile, the Saxons leader encouraged younger Junkanooers to continue to build on the solid foundation Gus leaves behind.
You know, the kind of true grit that Gus had, and and the kind of examples that he set for me, and our consistency over the years. I'm not sure whether this generation would have that kind of patience or even have that kind of energy or determination to want to sometimes when you think you've won, and then you lost, and then you get a good one side your head, and then you give up. We were not like that, and so I just urge the youngsters who are in Junkanoo today that we have to continue in this trend. We have to keep the spirit of Junkanoo alive.
LaDon Davis, ZNS Network News.
Well, that does it for this portion of news. Stay tuned. Sunday Sports is next with Julian Gibson.